Hello and welcome to Trisha's Cards and Crafts. I'm Trisha and this is the Stepped Up on Sundays. This is the card that I'm going to show you how I've made today. I'm not sure if you can actually see, but there's sort of glimmery, shiny bits on the where I've used where I've used the Wink of Stella pen, this pen, to colour the images. I've only used, I've used Lost Lagoon card and ink, but I've also used some real red just for the berries, and I've used some white ribbon, and I've used this Merry Melody embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder for the background. I don't usually do white on white, but I really think this needs something just like that. I think it looks stunning. Okay, right, so let's go to the pieces that you need to make it. I've got a scrap of white for the images. This is what I'm using to do the Noel. This is it's called, if I can find it, foam adhesive sheets, and you can buy them. They're square sheets, but you can cut them up so you don't use them for waste any of the space that's on them. I used this one. That's all I used just to do the Noel on the other card, so I'm going to use that one for this. I've got a little piece of blue of Lost Lagoon for the pine needles. This one's for the backing circle, and this one's for the one that goes on top. And then this piece is for the background, for the embossing to go on. And then I've just got a plain white C6 or A6 and C6 envelope, black card blank envelope. So you can use any white cards that you've got, or you can use a piece of basic white and just cut it in half, an A4 sheet, and that will make your card base. And so I'll put this out of the way for a minute while we get on and do all the other bits and pieces. So this piece is just over 3 inches, so it's just over 3 inches, and this one is just under about 2 3/4 inches. I didn't bother cutting it square, but that's all you need. Got that, and that can go on here. I did find when cutting these out, they need to be it doesn't cut out brilliantly because it's quite delicate fronds on the pine needles. You need a little bit of a shim to go underneath that. White is this. I'm using the deckled circle dies, but if you've got punches, you could use punches. If you've got other circle dies, you could use those. And this one. So I'm not quite sure. Let me just see if I can find deckled circle dies. They're sort of the middle ones size wise. Here's the deckled circle dies. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the 5th and 6th of the circle dies, the deckled circle dies that I've used. So those two are done, and that's ready. With the embossing folder, here we go. The bottom is the top, if you know what I mean. This is the bottom of the folder. If I get the piece of white card here, if you look at it this way up, you can see that the treble and bass clefs are going this way, but the actual folder goes that way. You need to put this part into the embossing machine first, otherwise it can snap. I have done that in the past, so I do know what I'm talking about there. So what you want to do is sort of line, you don't necessarily need the top row, but if you use it so that you've got the treble clefs at the top of one of the pieces, if that makes sense. So you want that. So I'm closing it. I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible. Here we go. Right. And then fold that down, but you feed it through this way. Okay. So if you can see that the treble clefs are upside down there, but when you take it out, you can turn it around, obviously. So that's ready to go. We need to do some stamping. So all I'm stamping are, at the moment, are two of these images. That is the sort of rounded sprig here and the Noel. I'm not printing anything else out at the moment. I will be stamping on the inside of the card and the envelope, but I can leave those for the moment. So we need our Lost Lagoon. So here we go. So I want this twice onto this piece. And I did it this way round last time. One. I hope I can get two out on here. Yeah, should be okay. Two. It's going to be close. There we go. That'll do. That'll be fine. And our Noel. There's that one. I'm going to do it reasonably towards the bottom and to this side. This one. There we go. I might do it again on this side. Woo! That's okay. Right, I can go back up there and stay there, please. Right, so these are going. You don't have to. You can colour them in first if you want to, but I'm not going to do that today. Do this one first. If you look at it, you'll see when you've got it right, because it'll sort of go around the outline of your image. That one's done. Now before I stick the Noel on here, I'm going to stick this onto my card. Whoops. Oh, this is the hardest part, is getting your fingers off it. I don't know which one's the best. That one. Actually, I think that one's better. So I'll use this one, and I'm going to put that so that it's near the edge there. So I don't know if there's plenty of room around it so that it can get it out. And we have our Noel here. You really want to make sure that you sort of don't see any white around the edges if possible, because it will want to make sure it doesn't come off. It will go through the machine, but if you look at the one I did before, the piece that came out, the backing piece didn't come off, so you won't necessarily be able to take the letters out without taking the back off, because it hasn't gone through the whole thing all the way through. So as you pick it out, I'll show you when we do it. Okay, so let's get doing this now. Right, so let's put the ink away before it dries up. Right, so I'm going to put the embossing folder through first, but for mine, oh, I moved it. Let's sort this out again. There we go. Just for mine, I need a little bit of a shim. I've got the cut and emboss machine, and I need a panel over the top. Put that through. Hang on a second. Right. Oops, that didn't work. Let's have a look. I don't know if that went through. No, it didn't. Need more than that. There's something missing. Need another piece of shim. Right, let's try again. That's okay. I'm not quite sure. That's different. Try that again. There we go. Let's check this one now. No, it still hasn't gone through. Not sure what's happening here. Won't be a second. I tried that one. Oh, that's what it is. I've got that as well. That's what's missing. Oh, right, we'll try again. There we go. Right, let's try this now. Sorry about that. It won't be a moment. That sounds more like it. There we go. Right. Here's the... that's better. There's the embossed image, and if you see, that's the way I had it in the machine, and then when it came through, this is what I wanted to be at, so that you've got your treble and bass clefs showing on the side of it. So that's my embossing done. Don't need those now. Leave that under there, bottom. Right, now we can do the other bits that we want to emboss. So I've got this, and this goes at the bottom, that, and that. There we go. So they can all go through together. Okay, one. And hopefully, yep, that's come out okay. Just need to be careful popping it off card because they don't like to come out very. They're a bit narrow. Just the ends here. There we go. There we go. So that one's done. And then I'm going to put that back on again. And I'm going to cut that one out again. Take this one off. And put it onto this one. Nope. I will find it in a second. There we go. That up to there. I think, hang on. Just move it over slightly. There we go. There we are, so that one's done. The circle's done. And the other circle. Keep that one. There's that one. Oops. And I'm going to put this one through. Actually, I'm going to put the Noel through as well at the same time. I think it'll be all right up there. Should be fine. Here we go. Now I'll put this through. Right, let's check this. Yep, that's okay. And this one's gone through, no problem. That. And this one's gone through as well. Again, you just have to be a little bit gentle getting this one out. It doesn't always want to come out very quickly. And there's the piece left over. Right, I can get rid of this. Right, let's just pop these little bits out. So there's my holly sprig. These two, oops, need to be coloured in. And this one, just get these pieces out as well. And that one. There we go. So now, just need to colour these in, and to do that, as I said, I'm going to use my Wink of Stella brush and the Lost Lagoon. Oh, not that bit. That bit. So if you want to get some ink so you can watercolour with it, you can just squash the lid together to the pad, and then you'll get ink coming out onto the bottom, and that's what you can use to do the colouring with. So just using a bit darker to do the holly sprigs. You won't probably be able to see the shimmer that easily, but it is there, I can promise you. I'll try and show you a bit better in a moment once I've finished. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I don't want to spend all the time colouring and waste your time. You don't need to see me colouring. If you want to do it, you obviously can take your time to do it as neatly as you can. But I'm just trying to speed up as quick as I can, just because of the video. And that's all of the holly leaves on that one. Just go over a little bit more. Right, and the other one, do the darker bits first. one here, and then just going to try and get some of the colour off my brush this time, because I just want to do these leaves a bit lighter, so not too dark for these. What do? They go dark. Just there we go. And this one. All of those leaves. Just put a little bit, maybe a bit darker at the bottom. A bit more depth, there we go. Right, so now for these leaves. You could use different colours, you could use old olive, or you could use a different green if you wanted to. For these, this is just my choice, so you can do what you want to do. But I thought this one is a bit like a monochrome card, and I think it looks quite nice like that. There we go, so that's all of those done. And now before I use the red, I'm just trying to clean my brush off a bit, because I don't want the green and the red to mix. And I'm using my real red, and I did the same thing with this one. So pushed the colour onto the lid, on the top part of it, and with this I'm just going to go in and colour these in. I'm not worrying about these too much. Try and make it as round as possible. But that's the only thing really worrying about with these. There we go. The other thing you could do, if you've got time and you were making a few of these, if you stamped them all out and coloured them in first and you had time to wait, then you could use, I'll show you now. Oh dear, hold my tongue. There we go. So what you could use are some of these. How have I got them? That's not the one I wanted. I've got some somewhere else. No, that's puffy paint. I don't want puffy paint anyway. I can't see them anywhere, but you can buy. Oh, never mind, I can't see them. Oh, here they are. They're in the bag. These pearlized enamel effects basics, and there's a real red in here. I'll do one on a piece of card here. And what you can do, let me just show you. If you do, you can just do this and it will go down to a little dot and it will just dome. You could do those. There we go. Oops, there we are. Hopefully you can see that. It's sort of raised, and that's how it will dry, and it will go hard once it's dried. And you could do those for the berries if you wanted to, but you'd have to leave them for a while to dry before they're hard enough to put onto the card. That's why I'm not doing it now, because it takes a while. If I'd done them earlier and I could have done them in advance, that's what I probably would have done for the berries. I might go back in and do them afterwards anyway, but we'll see. Right, so those are that's all the colouring done, so we can put the card together now. So let me just clean my brush off again, otherwise next time I go to use it, it'll be pink, hopefully. I don't think there's a lot left in this brush anyway, so it'll probably be okay. There we go. Most of it's off now. There we go. Right, so again, if you haven't got a wink of Stella, it doesn't really matter because you still get a nice effect with just inking it in. So I don't know if you can see the shimmer on it, but it is there. So there we go. Right, let's put this card together. So I'm going to use some wet glue for to do this, add this to the card, because it's got the different texture on the back and it's easier to get into all the nooks and crannies. And I sort of wiggle it around a bit just so that I make sure it finds some flat surfaces as well. And I want it to stick down nice and flat. Right, so that's the background, and it's going to have a small border around it. I don't think I told you the measurements, but it's just 1/8 of an inch all the way around smaller, so it would be 3 7/8 that way, and 5 5/8 going across. So that's what that would be. The rest of them are just scraps of paper, really. So I did tell you the circles, so you know what the circles are as well. Now I've just got to find them again. Oh, there they are. Dear me. Right, I'm going to stick this one on top of here, straight off. Normally I don't use wet glue on white card, but for this one it's not going to matter too much, and my letters are going to go on top of this anyway. So let me show you how I take these out of here and get them onto my circles. There we go. So I'm going to take the die off. Comes off really simply, and then I'm just sort of pushing this out. Should come out. The other one came out fairly easily. There we go. Try not to get any. There we go. So there's the first one going down. Oops. And the O. I'm doing it by eye, but you could line it up on a ruler, put a ruler underneath so you make sure it stays straight. And the E. Just gently easing it out. E there, and then the L underneath the O. There we go. There we are. That'll do. So that's how I put the letters on, and it's nice because they're raised and it looks quite nice. Gives a bit of shadow, bit of definition. So now I just need some dimensionals. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this, so I'm going to raise it up even more. Probably won't be so good to put in the post because they charge you more, because it'll be too thick to go through. The bulk of it will be too thick because of the 2 lots of dimensionals, or the foam pads and the dimensionals. If you want to, you could just stick it down flat, and then it should probably go through. Aha, I forgot. I'm going to use some the silver and white ribbon, sheer ribbon. I think that would look nice underneath it. And I need my scissors. There we go. So this is the silver and white sheer ribbon. There we go. I think I've used this before. I used it on another project that I did a couple of weeks ago, because it comes with the winter meadow suite, and I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive. Could use my stamping seal, but there we go. Never mind, that's done. So I'm going to put that on there now. The other thing about raising it up as well, can't see a lot of the ribbon up. I'm going to put some wet glue onto these. I've also, because I've raised them up a bit, I can put those on afterwards. If I hadn't raised them up, I would have had to have put them on first. So you need to work out what your placement's going to be if you want to do it flat on first. Okay, so I'm going to put some wet glue under here. You could use glue dots if you wanted to. I haven't put any at the top here because I'm going to stick the pine boughs underneath. So I'm going to bring this around to here. And then I'm going to use some mini glue dots with those. So I'm going to stick this one on as well. So I'm going to put just some wet glue under there, and then I'm going to push this through and down a bit, and then push it down, and then use some mini glue dots on these. 1, 2, and another 2. 2. There we go. So I've got glue dots on there, and then I'm going to push these, just lift that up a little bit, and there we go. Just want that to go slightly under there. It's going to have to go through more than that. There we go. Because now I've got it coming over the top of my card. And never mind, we'll sort this one out now. And put that one there. I might just cut those bits off there so that it doesn't pick up the side of my card. Right, get those out of the way. So now we can do the inside of the card and the sentiment and the envelope. So I'm using, for this one, the pine bough, and where did I put the the sentiment's up here, sorry. And the season's greetings, which is also from this suite. So here we go. And again, I'm just using the Lost Lagoon again for the inside. And season's greetings. Just to make sure it's nicely inked up. Be careful of the top because I've got some ink on there. On the side. There we go. So there's my season's greetings. And then for the pine sprig, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this, I'm going to get this piece of paper out from under here, because I'm going to stamp off a little bit. So I'm going to do one in the corner and then stamp again. and then I'm going to stamp off and stamp again, so it looks as though it's a bit of a sprig there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the envelope front, but I'm going to do it on this corner here, which is the bottom left of the envelope. So up and a second one, and then off and a second one. There we go. So they match up nicely. So that is my project for this week, my stamped up project for Sunday. So that's this card that I've made for you now. With this one I used a slightly different ribbon. You can use whatever ribbon you want. I wanted to use the Lost Lagoon ribbon, but it hasn't arrived yet, and I thought it would have arrived by now. So this is I just used some white decorative ribbon on that one. But you can use, I could have used the iridescent ribbon, that might have looked nice as well. So those are the two cards that I've made. Thank you very much for joining me. If there's anything you want, if you want any of the products that I've used, you can find them on my online shop. If you want to take advantage quickly, because you need to be quick, of the very good joining offer that's on at the moment. It's you pay £65 and you can buy, and you can choose £130 worth of products, so you get 35% more for your money. Or you can pay the £99 and you can get £175 worth of products. For the rest of it's for free. So that's for joining up. You will get you need to join before the 31st of October to get that joining offer, and you can also then you become a demonstrator, but you don't need to demonstrate. You can take advantage of the offer, and then you'll be entitled to 20% and maybe even 25%, depending on how much you purchase, or your friends might purchase through you, and you'll get that discount on every order. You get free delivery for your joining when you join up, just for that particular purchase. And then you will also get some business materials as well if you want them. You don't have to use them, they're there for you if you want to. And you'll also get to join us on the 11th of November for free. It's the On Stage at Home. You don't get the swag box because it's too late for that, but you will be able to join on the day and see demonstrations of new products that will be coming available in January, and you'll be able to order them from December as well. A certain of the products from December, at the beginning of December and throughout, and then you'll be able to see all the products, and you'll also be able to pre-earn the celebration items as well, which comes with the new mini catalogue, which is out in January. So it's a great time to join Stampin' Up! If you wanted to. If you're in the UK, Ireland or Europe, I could be your demonstrator if you haven't already got one. No problem either way, or join up under a demonstrator that you buy your products from. And if you're anywhere else, find a demonstrator that's in your country, and you should be able to buy the products that way and join up that way. Okay, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.